Well, COVID's delivered some strange sights, and the orange wall dividing north from south on the Gold Coast is a symbol of how desperate we've become to see loved ones. People meet with family and friends over a plastic barricade.
It'll go down in history, this wall.
What is the point of the Great Wall of Coolangatta?
I'm not sick, I'm not contagious, nothing, so why can't I just sit here with my healthy friend in the sun and just catch up?
Just under 1 kilometre of plastic barricade dividing COVID-free Tweed Heads south of the border from their friends and family, also COVID-free in Coolangatta, Queensland.
We have never had COVID here, so we feel as if we're acting safely.
The large crowds which gathered on Father's Day provided an indication of just how many families have been divided by this arbitrary line, effectively dividing two suburbs of the same neighbourhood. Now more people are coming to the wall each day with barely a police officer in sight.
I think it's all absolute garbage.
Marley lives in Queensland and is catching up for a juice with her best friend Izzy, who lives just 5 minutes walk across the border.
I just really miss my friends. We live on the border, we'd see each other almost every day. I work in Queensland as well, so it's made such a drastic change to my life.
Despite 0 cases, Izzy is meant to be in lockdown along with the rest of New South Wales, but believes what was good enough for the Prime Minister should be good enough for her.
With ScoMo even flying to Sydney recently, on a Father's Day trip and all that jazz, that I don't think that's quite right either. Why can't we just come here and catch up with our friends? We're not doing anything wrong.
Some families pack picnic chairs, trying to bring some normality to the otherwise absurd.
Mum's 80 and her health is really bad. She lives in Surface and we're in Mooloolaba. I haven't seen her since June. So we never know when's the last time we're going to see each other.
80 years old, in ill health, and a meet up at the wall is the only way to see your great-grandkids.
Grandbabies. They didn't tell me that the babies were coming. They hid under there. And,
We've just been missing
I nearly had a heart attack when they jumped up.
As bizarre as these catch-ups seem, they mean the world to those involved.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's medicine for my old soul. It's such a blessing. Yeah.
Queenslander Brian is here to celebrate a 6th birthday for his granddaughter on the other side.
Well, this is the only way we can meet up. I think since Father's Day, it's been the meeting place. Essential business.
Leon lives in Tugun, but his daughter goes to school across the border in Tweed Heads, meaning she's homeschooling while Queensland kids are back in class.
But certainly on a day like this, beautiful day, people will get out and, say hello to each other, and it's hard for the kids. It's very hard for the kids.
He's thankful that police are allowing this to happen.
What I can gather, the police have been very sympathetic towards this situation.
Queensland had officers doing checks on Father's Day crowds, but only a quick drive-by was seen by current affairs cameras yesterday afternoon. We spotted 2 people clearly stepping across the barrier into Queensland. It's unclear what their exemption status may have been.
Because I think it's just been a wonderful place. I'm glad that they do turn a bit of a blind eye to it, because without it, it would be pretty tough.
So we're all support workers, and those of us that live in Queensland have just come down to kind of have a bit of a team meeting and a catch-up.
These essential workers are struggling to provide mental health support for youth south of the border.
A lot of young people are missing out on support, face-to-face support, which they need right now.
Tradies are one of the most affected by the border closure, with a steady stream of supplies unloaded and reloaded on either side of the wall.
We've just got to get the jobs over the border, so this is our only option at the moment, so we're sort of stuck otherwise.
Mick's painting business in Queensland couldn't survive without visiting here almost daily.
We're not crossing over, so I can't see us doing something that's not really right. So yeah, we're just trying to make our businesses work.
That other infamous wall in Berlin was built to separate communist oppression in the east from the hard-fought freedoms enjoyed in the west. At Coolangatta's wall, many are wondering when they'll get their freedom back.
There's got to be another
way of doing things, particularly if this is going to go on for a number of months. You can't keep doing this.
This family, divided by plastic, are united by a flag that feels so fractured as this pandemic drags on.
And forget this, my state, you're getting more vaccines, you're not this. Forget about all that. It needs to be just, we're all in this together. We're Australians, you know?
A border bubble is what's needed now to tear down this wall. New South Wales taking a step in that direction by ending lockdown for many COVID-free regional areas, including the Tweed on Saturday. But the Queensland Premier today was still talking like we're at war.
30,000 cases in New South Wales. It is a clear and present danger to Queensland.
Like Anastasia, she shoots off at the mouth a bit, you know, like she'll say something, oh, we've got the grand final, and she says all those things, not showing any empathy. I'd like to see her show a little bit more empathy.
Queensland and New South Wales authorities are tipped to make an announcement on the border bubble tomorrow.